I love Liza and I love Emma. Those are my two ride or dies. Like when I'm watching YouTube, it's so girls. I also loved Summer McKean for a really long time.
You have 12 million followers.
Okay, casual.
Kind of impressive.
Just throw that stat out there real quick. I think that's like the secret to the internet too, is like you attract people who are like you. Jay Alvarez. When he was doing travel videos with Alexis Wren. That era, I was in college and I was like, what part of my soul do I have to sell to do this? Like, that is incredible. Like, I have this really firm belief. Do you know what the cat distribution system is?
No.
Okay, this is how we're starting this episode because I need to explain this to you. Pretty much, there's a belief. Here, give her over and I'll show. Look at these little noodles, okay? Okay. The cat distribution system is a system that's in place by the universe, okay? And
it's universal.
It's universal.
Okay.
It happens to everyone. Okay, I'm waiting for my time. Pretty much the rule of thumb is that the cats just appear, right? And they are delivered to you by the cat distribution system. You don't choose when you find them, and they're completely by accident. Even ask Megan. Megan's cat was a cat distribution system cat. She found the cat in her engine.
Oh, and you kept it.
He found me.
Oh,
He
wow.
found her. And
Best
she's in
friends.
love. So I am anti going and trying to find a cat. I am like, I attract, not chase. This cat is going to come to me. And I keep having these 1 degree of separation crossovers where like someone very close to me finds a cat and doesn't want it. And I'm like, okay, but is it the universe? Because wouldn't it put it on my doorstep if it was really meant for me? And that's why I'm fighting this battle right now. If I really want a cat, but I'm not going to go find it. I want to be bestowed upon me to where I cannot deny it. And then I don't need to make a choice at all. I have decision exhaustion. I'm not trying to make any more decisions for myself.
So this cat really needs to frog you.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. I'm like patiently waiting. And so now all my friends are making jokes like, we're going to go adopt cats and leave them at your front door.
And
So
then you have no choice.
So you think it's the universe, but it's not. But I'm patiently waiting and I'd be happy with little twin kittens. I'm fine with 2. I'll take 1. I'll take a whole litter. Like, if they're meant for me, they're going to find me. And I have a really strong belief in that.
That's so interesting that you're waiting for them to really force their way into your life.
I like them waiting. Listen, this is cringy, but I'm going to say it anyway. I like go on walks with my headphones on silent listening for cats to meow. So I can be like, oh my God, it found me.
You have your own distribution then, because you're really trying to seek this out.
No, that's the thing. Am I really not chasing and attracting if I'm acting like this about it? I don't know, but we're doing it. So.
What's really interesting to me about you is that maybe you're trying to attract these cats while you're doing a triathlon, because who does a triathlon for fun?
Oh, that I need the mental health help.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're wondering why I do triathlons, listen to my story about how I attract cats. Like, that tells you all you need to know about me.
You really didn't train for it really at all?
No, the first one, no. Yeah, I kind of like signed up my friend Danielle, who I've met with in the recent years. Today's her birthday.
Happy
Slay
birthday,
Danielle's
Danielle.
Happy birthday. So today's her birthday, and she kind of came into my life like the cat distribution system. It was completely by accident.
Forced her way into your kitchen.
Forced her way in, and it was phenomenal. I'm so glad that it happened. We've been friends for about a year, and she, at one point, was like, I do these triathlons, and she was kind of bringing it up pretty regularly over like a span of 3 months, and we were going to do the Malibu try, but then it ended up actually getting changed, and they like weren't doing it this year, but they did a Santa Barbara try, and my parents live close to that area, so we were like, oh my gosh, let's all go do this triathlon in Santa Barbara, and you can do sprint ones. So here's the real tea. It's a 500-yard swim in the ocean, which isn't easy, but like, it's not the end of the world. You can do 500 yards.
When you're like swimming far out, how do you still see yourself? Like, do you see the land still?
Yes.
Okay.
But like, you go about like 100 to 150 yards out, and then you swim parallel to shore, and then you swim that same distance back in.
Okay.
So like, you're kind of just doing a square with the ocean.
So that's not that hard.
No, it's not too bad. Like, if you can make it to the first buoy, then you're like, okay, all I have to do is make it over, and then we're homebound. Like, you end up like bargaining with yourself during the race, truthfully. But
does it mess with your mind? Sharks, fish,
here's
ocean
what's really
life.
scary. Okay, in California, what's horrible is you can't see. Like, you are staring into murky water. Like,
it's the Pacific Ocean.
It's
just
the
dark,
Pacific Ocean.
dirty.
It's dark and dirty. You cannot see the bottom of the ocean. And I grew up swimming, high school and in college. And you have a lane that you look at. Like, you look at a line on the bottom of the pool. That's amazing. In the ocean, you get such vertigo because you have like especially in the Pacific, you have nothing to focus on. So like, your eyes are just like looking everywhere when you're swimming. And then you go for a breath. And by the time you like get out of the water to run to your bike, you're like stumbling because it's just like, I don't even know the right word for it. It's sickening.
And how long did it take you to finish this?
The first one I did, I've been doing sprint ones. So I actually have already signed up for my first Olympic length triathlon, which is really exciting.
So that's even further?
That's pretty much like double to triple the distance that I've done previously. So my first triathlon I did was 500 yards in the water, a 6-mile bike, and a 2-mile run. Super attainable, right? The second triathlon that I did was in Dockweiler Beach here in LA. They said it was a 400 swim. My watch measured a 600 swim.
Ooh.
I'm just saying it was longer. It felt remarkably longer than the first one that I did. So I'm going to say it was a 600 swim because that's how far I swam. I don't know where I was going.
You're all the way out there by yourself.
No one knew where I was. It was a 600 swim, a 16-mile bike, and a 3-mile run.
Okay.
And my goal was to finish that in an hour and a half. And I did an hour and 29 minutes.
That's amazing.
Exactly in the amount. Like, I was literally 30 seconds short of an hour and a half. And I was like, this is phenomenal.
That's great.
And then my first one I did, my goal was under an hour, and I did it under an hour.
Why do you do them? For fun.
Listen, I actually have thought a lot about this recently. I've talked about this a lot in therapy of like, why do I do triathlons? I think the secret is the career that we have. I'm sure you feel this way. It's kind of hard to measure that you're doing a good job, right? Like, you're making content consistently, and some things resonate and some things don't, but you're really just like making it out of joy. And I, in high school, was teacher's pet and most organized in my mock awards. Like, I was somebody who thrived off knowing that I was doing a good job. And in this career, good is such a moving target. Like, if you're doing good, if you're doing well, you're never really actually sure. Triathlons give me a start and an end point where I know that I'm being successful at something. I know that I'm completing something. I know that I'm reaching a goal.
So sweet. I do half marathons for the medal.
You really?
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
But half marathon, I'm doing a marathon next month.
Yeah, twice as hard as what my medals are right there.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's amazing.
I did Maui.
Stop, I'm doing Honolulu.
I know.
That's so fun. I probably should have started with a half marathon.
Have you started training for it?
Yes, because it's in 20 days.
Oh, so you're doing like 13-mile
I'm
runs
sick to
right
my
now.
stomach. Oh, I did 16 is the farthest that I've gone so far. I have one more run while I'm in New York that's like planned out with my little brother, and I are doing them together, or doing all of these together, but specifically the marathon.
It's great to have a partner.
100%. And he's quite a bit taller than I am. So I was assuming that he was going to be faster than me. Also, like, just naturally, like, even when you look at the averages of like male versus women finish times, like, men are about, on a marathon length, about 30 minutes faster than the average woman time. So like, I was assuming my little brother would be quite a bit faster. I actually run faster splits than him, but he can run longer than I can. So we meet in the middle. I have to run slower, but he can get me the distance. It's amazing because now we end up with this like great pace where we're running like 10-minute, 30-second miles.
So what are
consistently?
You're trying to get it done in less than 3 hours?
No, that's less than 5 hours.
So you're trying to get it's a 5-hour run?
It's a 5-hour run. I'm not thinking about it like that. I'm thinking about it. I just got to do a bunch of 10Ks.
Wait, I feel like I did a half marathon in an hour and a half. Or is that crazy? Maybe I did it in 3 hours.
That's fucking impressive.
Okay, then I did it in 3 hours. It was definitely not impressive.
You could do it. You wasn't? What were your, like, an hour and a half? I ran my first half marathon. I ran 9-minute, 30-second paces and did it in 2 hours. So if you're doing like 8-minute paces, you could probably do an hour and a half.
No, I probably did it in under 2 hours. I think that was my second goal. My third goal.
That's iconic. That's amazing. That's fast.
I'm probably lying. It was probably 2.5 hours. This was so long ago, and I let it go. That was a part of my life. I'm done with half marathons now. You finished that.
You're done with running.
I don't need to do it anymore. I found myself. I don't need to do it.
I heard that the secret is like you either get married or you do marathons.
Yeah.
So maybe this was like pre-marriage.
It was.
Okay, exactly.
So then I got married, and now I'm done.
And now you're finished.
I have my medals.
You've completed both, you know.
I did it in Hawaii. It was beautiful.
That's the thing. I'm really excited about Hawaii. I'm a little scared of the humidity because I've been running in like LA weather and New York weather. And so... But my brother and I are doing our 20-mile run, which will be our last run before the marathon in New
LA?
York.
Oh, in New York.
So it'll be a little cold. My issue is I've been like kind of doing 10 miles casually. I know that's not really casual, but like I will go for 10-mile runs as like my maintaining my well-being. And I got to 8 and I like wrecked my knee somehow. I'm not sure if I got a cramp inside my knee, but it's broken. And now I'm really scared because that hasn't happened yet, but it happened on a short run. And I'm like, what happens if it happens during the main one? And then I feel like, I don't know. I don't have the ego to just walk. Like I'll be so mad at myself that I put this much work in to get to the day of the race and then like do something like not be able to actually run the whole thing.
Oh, you don't break at all?
No.
Oh,
bathroom not happening. I'm not stopping.
Oh.
Hell no.
I had to.
I'm going to do the whole thing.
When you're in Hawaii,
I'm convinced. I'm telling myself because I've heard that like 80% of the marathon is mental. So I'm like, you are good. You will drink water. You will make it.
It is. And if you have a playlist like already set and then you get such a high just looking at the sunrise.
What music do you listen to when you run?
Like David Goggins telling me I'm a bitch.
Stop. That's so. See, I'm like a big Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia, or Gracie Abrams.
Yeah.
And like all sad, slow songs.
And that hypes you up?
Hell yeah.
Oh, that would ruin my mojo.
I have headphones that don't go all the way in my ears. Like they like wrap around the outside. So I still hear the world, which is wonderful. And I just put it like just quiet enough that I kind of have like a little bit of a rhythm.
In case you find a cat.
And then I can listen for my cat and also run. I'm running all over LA to find this cat.
You find him mile 1, you're like, damn it.
No, if I find him mile 1, we are boarding all missions and I'm running right back home and I am nurturing the small baby. So
much of it is so, like you said, so mental.
it is.
Do you have like your outfit already planned out, your shoes? Yeah, that was the big thing.
Really? That stressed you out?
Yeah, because after running good shorts, I have to make sure that my tank is not going to be annoying. What really ruined it, I had sunglasses and I didn't realize like they were kind of heavy, like a mile in. So I had to pass them off when I saw somebody.
Okay, that's so interesting. See, I have a pair of sunglasses and I keep thinking I see everybody running with like the cool Oakley ones and I'm like, oh yeah, but I have this pair of District Vision ones that are actually biking glasses that I wear for my triathlons and I just know that they're super comfy. So I'm like not really able to give that up.
Yeah, you'll be good.
Like
then.
Once I like have the ones that I like, I'm kind of like ride or die from. And then
are you bringing gel packs?
Yeah, I love
they're so good.
I don't really like the gel packs. I like the gummies. I'm a big gummy girl. Like I love the Cliff like cubes.
Yes.
You know, so I'm like kind of ride or die for those. And I've been running with water in my vest because I was like, I want to make sure I have the weight. I think I need a full bladder in the back.
You want the weight?
No, because I want to have the weight while I'm training so that it doesn't feel different when I'm running the real. Like I'm trying to run it as close. So I feel like I look like I'm such an intense runner when I run in LA. I'm like suited up. My knees are taped. I'm like dialed in, but I just want to have the comfort level of what it's going to feel like on marathon day.
Yeah, you really have to prepare for that.
So, but yeah, outfit I ordered so much. Like my brother and I picked a color scheme pretty much, and we're going to match in a color scheme. So we're doing like really like kind of like honestly like a Honolulu blue, like the Detroit Lions kind of vibe, but maybe a little bit darker and deeper. And then we have like a neon like tennis ball yellow. So those two colors together, and then like creams and blacks and whites and yeah. So.
Is anyone coming out with you to cheer you on?
Yes. So the Honolulu Marathon does a 6K or a 10K, so 6 miles that run with the marathon runners. So
same time?
Same time. We all take off at the same time, but then at the 10K mark, they break off and they are their own. They're done. But the marathon continues for the next 26 miles. So we have 20 more miles after they leave.
Next 26 miles.
So my my boyfriend, my mom, and my best friend Danielle all signed up for the 10K. So they are actually going to run the first 6 miles with my brother and I, which is going to be great. So
are they going to keep your pace?
Unsure. We may abandon them if they can't.
Right.
I think my boyfriend will, but my mom sent me this, I wish I could show you this video. My mom sent me a video this morning of her being like, I'm doing it, and she's like jogging, and it's the cutest. We love Matka. She sends our family group chat this video of her going on runs in the morning. She's running like 3 miles every morning to train for her 10K, which is 6 miles. So we're a little short and we're 20 days out, but she's going to be wonderful. And so she's going for jogs. And I was like, wait, this is so fun. But yeah, my mom will see. They might keep up for like maybe the first mile, and then they might go to a walk and like just relax and enjoy the scenery and like take photos and enjoy the race. But
do you have your shoes already?
Yes. And that was such a predicament, I feel like, for the marathon. I got sent New Balances right when I when I joked about triathlons. New Balance sent me a box of a bunch of merch. And I was like, wait, this is so cool. I was wearing those shoes. I did a 16-mile run. I actually ran. You know where I live in LA.
Yeah.
I ran from my house to the water.
Oh my God. Did you run back?
So
Dedicated.
That was my training. Pretty much the office, like from the UTA office to the water and back. I ran Santa Monica Boulevard all the way down to the ocean with my little brother. So it ended up circling out about 16 miles.
When you're at a stoplight, are you keeping that going?
I do, until we were on our way back. Then I was stopping at the stoplights because like my knees I have such bad knees.
That's kind of why I stopped.
I learned like it just kind of it hurts.
Also, I know my feet are like really pigeon-toed, so I noticed after marathons they even get worse.
Stop. See, mine, I step both feet like this way when I'm running.
Interesting.
Like both my feet are slanted this way, so it's like the outside of this foot and the inside of this foot get the most pressure in my walk, which I learned because I went to Fleet. One, it's that direction of words, but feet and fleet in one sentence. I went to them and they did like the full measure and markup. Guys, I was wearing a size too small of shoes.
Wait, what?
Yep.
So you needed bigger shoes?
I needed a whole size bigger of shoes. I learned a lot about myself that day. I have the widest possible feet of any medium that I could have in women's feet. I have the widest. Look at these boys. The widest that I could possibly have. And the thinnest heel that I could possibly have. So that's why I'm good at swimming. And
is it hard to find shoes?
Apparently, I thought that I was wearing the perfect shoes, but I was wondering why like my feet, my bunions were hurting so bad. I was wondering why my bunions were hurting, and it's because I was wearing a full size too small.
Wow. So they feel better now?
Yeah, they put me in ons. When I like got checked out and everything and did it, they put me in ons with insoles, and the truth is I went for a run with those, and they just didn't have the same like
cush
and push both.
You
Both
need the push
of the
for
ushes, you know, like there wasn't enough like cushion for the run, but then I felt like my New Balances, I have like really good ones. Like I didn't realize I had really good ones. I just wore whatever they sent me, and they're like marathon level running shoes. And so then as soon as I ran in the ons, I was like, these are not as like propelling me forward as the New Balances are. Like I felt like my splits were way better than the New Balances and all that stuff. So I actually ended up ordering a second pair of New Balances in wide and in a bigger size, and I just got those in, and now I mean they bummed my knee, so we'll see. I hope they're good, but
you should try Hoka's.
That's what everyone says, but I actually felt like Hoka's were really stiff when I walked in them.
I think they have different variations.
Yeah,
but they help you. They have the measurements there too.
I'm a ride or die Hoka girly too, like in normal settings. Like I hike in Hoka's. I bought Hoka's as my recovery sandals, but like yeah, we'll have to check.
It's like walking on clouds.
It is. It's
They're
so
nice.
Comfy. I love a Hoka.
So you have 12 million followers.
Okay, casual.
Kind of impressive.
Just throw that stat out there real quick.
How do you think your online career has changed you from all of that?
Oh, this is so interesting that you're asking this question, because I literally just talked about this in therapy this morning. So let's open up about this.
Please.
Let's just share.
Your therapist told me.
I'm sure Lila gave you a ring, honestly.
She did.
So here's the thing. With my career, I feel like when I first started social media, I was in grad school. And like my number one goal, I think, was just to have something to express myself and have this way to like really depict who I was as an individual, and also like create a corner of the internet where I could have a community that kind of just had to feel included. Because I think in a lot of ways in my life, as I think about like as I've grown and grown up, I haven't always felt like I fit in like when I did engineering. I feel like I didn't really fit the standard of like what a woman in engineering was, because none of my passions were like my jobs were, I worked in engineering, but I also was a fitness instructor, and I also was an a cappella group, and I also loved swimming, and I also like love photography and videography and movie making. So there was so many areas where I just feel like I couldn't feel like 100% myself, or like being myself was like the norm. And so because of that, I feel like when I was making videos online, I loved that I didn't need to have a niche. I love that I didn't need to be a lifestyle creator who only talked about like links and beauty and fashion. I love that I could do that, but also like ride my unicycle online, because that's super normal. And
Wait,
like,
do you really ride a unicycle?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you not know that about me?
No.
I feel like that's like, I have it like probably tattooed on my forehead at this point. That
Is
I
it
can
in
ride
your
a
car?
unicycle. No, I wish. They're actually really difficult to find in person. I feel like order fresh.
You think they'd be everywhere?
No, I would have expected. I mean, it's such a cool, like, think outside the box bicycle shops.
Really, for real.
But so I've always had kind of like weird passions where I wasn't really sure exactly where I fit. And especially when I was looking on the internet, I found people who like did things that I wanted to do, but like I just didn't know that I like 100% related to them. And so when I started making content, it was kind of my diary, like my little keepsake of my life, my world, the way that I was feeling and who I was as a person. And as I've grown, I think the biggest transition that I struggled with was leaving, like when I graduated from grad school and started doing content full time. What that meant, like as a creative, is like you're now kind of responsible for making things that are good, and how people define good is how successful they are. Like fitness is kind of like, you know, what we started with is like when you make a video, like it's kind of required that if it's not making you money, it wasn't good, you know? But like, how is that a good way to depict your art and depict what you enjoy doing and like how you see yourself and perceive yourself? So I think that that's kind of changed my perspective a little bit, not really specifically to the growth or the people, because I still don't really know how I got here 100%. I like sometimes realize that I have such a like happy, feel good, large community of like women and men, mostly the girlies, but of people who just like must have felt the same way that I did somewhere in that storyline, you know? But yeah, I think it's been really difficult to transition into like it feeling like a full-time career and still feeling like I can be freely creative without it having this pressure of like it has to be good enough to make you money.
What you put out there is positive radiating like energy, and that's what comes to you.
Exactly.
And that's entirely your vibe.
I think that's like the secret to the internet too, is like you attract people who are like you. And so there's like in so many ways it's like it's not really about finding a niche, but rather finding like what kind of person you are. It's like discovering yourself instead of discovering what your passions are.
I feel like there's such a double-edged sword with that, because so many people say you have to have a niche.
Yeah.
But you've figured out a way where you don't.
No, my niche is me.
Do you ever think that that's hurt you in a way?
I think sometimes the ideas of niches put different kinds of requirements to what I think my content should be. Like when I have a video that does well, I'm like, oh, that's a niche that I should dial into. For example, coffee. Like I think people associate me with coffee quite often and like coffee reviews. So there are moments where I feel this like need to make that video because it's what people like from me.
But you've never wanted to go entirely just down that lane?
No. Because I just have so many other things that I love. What would I do? What would I do if I had so many things that I loved? And then even now, like with triathlons and marathons, you could not have paid me, I think, a year ago to do that. And so I don't really know where that passion came from. But like now I'm obsessed with it. And I love that like area of my life. And just like I'm growing, so is my community. And it's even like this chance to continue to explore the person that I want to become through what I create online.
Who are the people coming up to you? Recognizing you?
What do you mean? Like who are like my community? Who are my friends?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's crazy. People that I would be friends with in real life.
That's because I feel like what you put out there is authentically you.
They are like my people. Like I'm like, these are my humans. Like I was like, if I like, it's so funny. Whenever I meet someone in public, my favorite part is that my like one requirement is to get to know them. Really. Like when someone comes up and is like, I love your videos, I'm like, please tell me everything about yourself. Because like we have to be the same person if you love what I make. Like we have these like just really similar outlooks on life and like, I don't know, either similar passions or you just have really good energy. And I always feel like I have the kindest, most polite people in the face of the planet. Like I have maybe 2 stories of like times where like meeting someone in public didn't go great. And it's always like truly the elements or maybe too much excitement. But like, and probably from both of us, it's probably my fault too. But like every person that I meet is like so gentle and so kind and so respectful. And like, I just get excited to give them like a hug and be like, thank you for, putting me here, honestly.
And do you think that's all because of what you put out there is always positive and radiating nice energy?
I'm not sure. I have a friend who has done content for a really long time, and he said this to me once, that like the people who follow you are who your inner person is. Okay? So like if you have like a creator who kind of is like, I can't even think of a good example. Like they might seem really like chill online, but then their fan base is like smashing windows and like super crazy. Like maybe their inner self is a little bit of that energy.
Because that's what they enjoy. And
like that's what like, and so like they kind of like attract, it's like the same like we said, like you attract people who are really similar to you. I feel like just like I'm very positive, very like happy, very feel good on the outside, but like even on the inside I think I'm like maybe a little bit more chill than, or maybe I'm a little more psychotic, you'll never know. But like like it's this thing where I think it's just like whoever you are on your inside is like the kind of people who are going to come up and say hi to you too.
Can you take me back to day one, because I know you didn't really discover the internet for quite some time.
Yeah, I like was not allowed to have social media growing up.
So what happens when you find it? Are you just mind blown at?
Well, truthfully, I think most people started with Facebook, but I wasn't allowed to have Facebook. So I actually started with Instagram.
And what age were you?
15? That's still pretty young.
Very. Well,
but,
yeah.
Like, I found Instagram like the year Instagram came out. So like I had a group of friends who I was actually at a tennis meet, and a bunch of girls were like, oh my gosh, we're like have this app Instagram. You should download it and we should like, that way we can like all stay friends and post cute photos. And I was like, oh, I don't really know how this works, but I followed 10 people and 10 people followed me. It was like you followed the same people. Like it was when Instagram was like truly meant to just share photos with your friends. Before it became like, before the influencer market really existed.
Before it was a business.
Influencer market was blogging before this. So like that didn't really exist on Instagram yet. So I had the app and I followed like 100 people, and like they were all kids I went to high school with, all kids you personally know. Everyone has private accounts. I actually told my parents when I got it too, because I think I was like a little nervous they would be mad if they saw. I had just gotten an iPhone for my birthday, so I think it was like maybe 2 weeks after I'd gotten an iPhone. Like I had the iPhone 4S, like the small little one. It was really cute. I love that thing. And so I had just gotten that phone. I got Instagram, and like Instagram stayed for me very normal, very casual. I always admired the creators like JC Marie and Teza and Aspen Ovard and like those girlies that were doing the thing and like had like influencer energy. And then when I got to college, I discovered YouTube because we were not allowed to like watch YouTube when I was a kid either. Like I think people were like YouTube kids, but I didn't really grow up on YouTube. So I discovered it when I got to college. I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these videos online that like teach you things. Okay.
Did watching it make you want to do that stuff? Because your videos are very intricate. I know you love Liza.
Are they? I love Liza and I love Emma. Like those are my two ride or dies. Like when I'm watching YouTube, it's so girls. I also loved Summer McKean for a really long time. I actually got to like meet her recently too, and I like felt I'm pretty sure she's younger than me, so I felt bad fangirling because I was like, listen, I don't think you realize like I feel like we're the same age mentally because like I watched you in college and it felt like we were going through the same life. We are not. I think we're like probably 4 years. I don't even know do you know how different we are in age? I don't know how different we are in age, but like someone like that. And same with Emma. I'm pretty sure Emma's quite a bit younger than me too, but I always felt younger than like I am in age. Even now I feel so much younger than I am in age. And like I always admired all those like creators, but Liza I knew from Vine, which is funny because Vine kind of like came and went really fast in my brain. I feel like we only had Vine for a year, maybe. Is that right or is that wrong?
Probably a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, but I loved Liza from Vine. So once Liza did YouTube, I loved her YouTubes. But they felt so organic and like they weren't planned. And then I saw her in an interview say that everything was like extremely planned. And I was like, that's crazy to learn later because I always thought that all these YouTubers were like just shooting in the dark with their content. Truthfully, I was like, they're just making videos. So that's what I was doing. All my YouTube videos are shots in the dark. I have no idea what I'm filming when I'm filming them.
I helped her do a couple of the 73 questions videos.
Yeah.
So fun to do.
I love them. That's also crazy because I feel like you probably know Liza on a personal level. I know Liza on the like trying to keep my cool every time I meet her level.
Did watching those videos make you want to do them?
Yeah, I would say yes. I think like without a doubt, I think when it's so interesting, I was thinking about like when you are a creator, I feel like I can never, the thing that I'm really trying to differentiate for myself as an individual and as a creator is when I see other people doing stuff, do I want to do what they're doing because I want to be like them and because it's something that I actually want, or do I want to do it because it means that I would be included with them and associated with them? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know that I really like was watching her videos and I was like, I want to be her. I think one person who I did watch their videos and I was like, I want to make what she just made. Like whatever she made, like move something in me. Indie Blue in that one Twitter video that went viral. That was to final song. You know what I'm talking about? Come on. Don't leave me hanging with this.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. That video.
No, stop. Okay. She like had this viral video go like crazy about her traveling with all of her friends, and she filmed this like really playful cinematic like musical. Honestly, people like listen in different contexts, obviously, but like Jay Alvarez when he was doing travel videos with Alexis Wren. That era, I was in college, and I was like, what part of my soul do I have to sell to do this? Like that is incredible. Like those travel videos where it was just like good energy and playful and exciting and fun and adventurous. And I'm like, listen, I can't surf and I can't ride waves like that in Hawaii, but I want to. Like, those are videos that I looked at and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. I think when I watched Liza, I was like, I want to be her friend. Do you see what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I watched her videos and wanted to replicate what she was doing. It was like, whatever she puts out into the world in terms of energy, that's what I wanted to create. Not her content specifically.
And then were you always just so passionate about cameras and lighting and
always passionate about cameras? I like started prior to even having like YouTube accessibility to social media. I think I got my first camera when I was in 6th grade, and it was like a logo-less camera from Sam's Club. And like I just loved taking our home videos and turning them in to like music videos, or like I have so many cute Taylor Swift songs filmed with my sister where we did like fake music videos together. And it's crazy because like that was always something that I loved from the beginning, was like making what was going on in my brain when I listened to music, or going on in my brain when I thought about a place, and making it physical and making it something visual. And so from the beginning, I always loved that aspect of like video and photography. And I think photography was my gateway drug into videography. Like it was my introduction. I like love taking photos of my friends. I have like old videos on my YouTube channel of going out and doing photo shoots on campus with my friends, and like it just was always just such a fun way to feel like I could express myself. And that stuff never even really got shared. But in the same way that TikTok for me felt like a keepsake on a corner of the internet, that was like my keepsake in my corner of my small town, you know?
I always liked being able to take a moment and make it last forever.
Yeah.
Like putting it on the internet, knowing that I could watch it in a year, 2 years, 3 years.
And be like, look how much we've changed.
Remember when we went whitewater rafting? That was nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Was what you tried doing when you first hopped on TikTok?
I think, that's a good question. Yeah, honestly, I feel like it kind of became a way for me to like remember the first years of grad school. And then I kind of feel like I had a content shift when COVID hit, and I was like, okay, now I'm just going to be creative. Like now I'm going to make whatever comes to mind, and I'm going to like do what I did when I was a kid and bring to life these ideas that I had when I was a child, and like whatever I saw in my brain, put them into a physical form, which is how we get like my cheesy music videos and like any of those kinds of content. It's like when I close my eyes and I listen to this song, or when I close my eyes and I imagine this moment, here's how I see it. When I close my eyes and I imagine being in a long distance relationship, when I imagine going through a breakup, when I imagine, you know, what the dating world is like, or who I want to be, or how I want to feel. Musical mornings. I mean, like when I'm doing my makeup and getting ready, how playful, how fun is it? That's where I think my more of my creativity came out. But I think when I first started social media, I would say, yeah, I think I at first treated it like it was a keepsake, and now I kind of treat it like a canvas.
Like you mentioned earlier, Liza's videos were so planned out.
Yeah.
How much thought goes into what Nothing. Really?
Truly.
Just the camera on and go?
Camera on and go. Yeah.
Do you think that's what makes the magic of your videos?
I like to think so. I don't know. I think there's something organic about it. I would say when it comes to like planning, there were times where I would be super more like way more thoughtful. I think any planning that goes into is simply like, okay, let's say we see that a lipstick is trending at Sephora. Okay.
So is that like the spark of, okay,
maybe
we have
that's the
something.
spark of like, okay, we have like a lipstick that's trending that people want to see. Or here, this is actually a better idea. A Dyson Airwrap. When the Dyson Airwrap came out,
huge.
I was like,
big moment. I
need this. I don't care what I want this item. This is so cool. This is innovative. It's giving engineering. I was like, I'm into it. I went to Ulta. So I did a vlog of going to Ulta and asking if they had the product and finding it and being like, oh my gosh, guys, I can't wait to try this product. Then video number 2 comes out of it. I'm going to go home and I'm going to tutorial this product. Video number 3 comes out of it. I'm going to do a before video on my hair looks like. I mean, my hair is done today, so I can't say what my hair looks like this. But a before video like fresh out of the shower where I have the before the transition and then the after the transition. So you can think in terms of planning of like, here's my one item. Here's my one concept. I'm going to go get a coffee today. Now, how many videos and how many thoughts can I make out of that one idea? Like, how can I expand that moment into being an entire day? And so it's funny because people are like, oh my gosh, you have your phone out all day. And I'm like, oh no, I filmed all of this in 1 hour. You know, like it's all of these ideas came from one single moment in my life. Like going to, I don't even know, an amusement park. Like I just went to Not Scary Farms for the first time. I wish I did more content of it. Terrifying. Okay. I should have done a getting ready to go. What am I going to wear when I'm there? A fun montage of all my friends enjoying the rides. Me going on my first roller coaster in like 10 years. What are my fears? What are my thoughts? You know, like you can kind of take what's one experience and how many moments happen during it.
Are you filming everything and then you figure it out in the edit later?
Depends on the experience. Depends on how spontaneous the experience was.
So like you just said, Not Scary Farms.
Yeah.
Do you have like those 5 videos already? Like, okay, I'm going to knock this out. Done. Next. Done. Next. Done.
I didn't film Not Scary Farms, but if I did, I think I would have known beforehand. You know, like I think I would have had like a general idea and then see what else I could fluff up from that experience. Because sometimes I do think like there's magic in the moments that you're not expecting to happen. Like, a good example is like I went to the VMAs and there was a moment where before we went on the carpet, I was filming a part of my vlog. And in my vlog, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like so nervous because we're about to walk on the carpet. So I was like, when I voice over, I'm going to film this moment. And when I voice over it, I'm going to say like, and this is me 5 minutes before I walk the carpet when I'm losing my absolute mind because I'm always so nervous during this moment, which is so true. Then I found out that Getty does videos and they film the hottest videos. I have a thirst trap of videos of me at the VMAs. They film me in slow motion walking the carpet. And I'm like, I've never looked this good in my life. This is the best day of my life. And so what ended up happening is I ended up using that clip of me being like nervous and being like, POV, you're getting ready to unlock your alter ego when you walk onto the carpet because I looked so good in like the juxtaposition of the other videos. That's an example of like that first video I filmed had an intention of something totally different, but kind of turned into like a fun little short form video in a little moment of the night.
And then how much reflecting on the views and the the comments and the likes are there once it goes up? Or are you just throwing it out there and on to the next?
Out there. I really think that like I've never been someone who really, not to say like I don't care, but like the truth of the matter is that I think if I do care, it kind of plays into that idea again of like
success.
And not only that, but like, did I do a good job because did people like it? And my like success and goal in life, I'm literally putting my water back down. My success and goal in life is to get to a point where I can be creative. I could be like financially successful enough that my further creativity does not have to be catered to how well it performs. I can be creative for the freedom and joy of being creative and making what I love because it's like what I'm feeling on my heart. There's this pressure right now where like what I make, and if I treat every video like it matters what my viewership is, every video I can look at and say, oh my gosh, well, I thought that was going to do better, and then feel bad and make myself not creative anymore because I'm being hard on myself for what I've already made, versus seeing a video and saying, despite what people think about this, despite how it performs, I know where my heart was when I was making it. I know how much I loved making it. The experience in making it was so phenomenal. That's the win today. That's my measure of success, is that I really enjoyed it. I'm really proud of what I made. The internet will do what the internet will do.
How'd you view the PacSun collaboration?
I loved the PacSun collaboration. I honestly feel like
that was massive.
That was the most, listen, and you got to be there for like every step of the way of that process too. Like this is what's so crazy. I have never felt like I looked like more myself than the day we had on the beach. And the day of the party, I was so stressed that no one was going to show up. And it's the way that it was like a consistent flow of people that made me feel so like, thanks you guys. That made me feel so good. And the fact that I feel like we came to an agreement that we were like, we are not leaving this pool without jumping in, because I'm not going to be a pool party that doesn't actually use the pool. There's no way. That was such a fun day. And the success of that truly was how freely and this is the thing too, the way that I just went on two different tangents and didn't finish either sentence. It's the fact that like my success of that was that I got to be freely creative in a medium that I didn't know. And there were no gauges of success. Like there was no like, listen, if you sell 50 swimsuits, you did a good job. I actually have no idea what the numbers are of that. Do you know any of the numbers? I don't know any of the numbers. Truthfully, I don't care what the numbers were. I had the best time seeing people wear my swimsuit. I'm still patiently waiting to accidentally see someone in public wearing it. That's my goal in life, is like, I want to go to a pool and like see a girl wearing my suit and be like, that says my name on it. What the heck is going on? But to me, the most successful thing was making something that I was so proud of. And like that swimsuit collection, I'm an itty bitty girly. I have trouble finding suits that like have underwire, have this, fit me the right way, have like the right amount of like sexy but still are like versatile and fun, and I can wear them to the beach. I know nothing's gonna be moving around. Those suits for me were like the epitome of like such a joy. And getting to then do a second collaboration that was out in Michigan and having that like just being able to take it back home and take it back to the Midwest. Like I love being able to share that other little piece of myself in that collaboration.
It's so interesting to look back, because exactly what you put out is exactly what you made with another giant company like PacSun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like it's the exact message.
Exactly. And that was, I think, like truly the goal was just like every decision I make as like me as a brand and me as an individual and what I want to put out into the world, I want it to just feel like, oh, that makes sense. Of course, that's so Anna. You know, like I never want it to feel like, why would she do that? That feels weird. You know, like I think with every launch that I have, my goal is just to like truly like comfort my community in like stuff that I know that they'll love and that I love and that I'm so overwhelmingly excited to share with them.
How important is it for your success for you to know every step of the way, like shooting, editing, producing?
I am a control freak.
But do you think you have to be?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I love control. No. Because that's like my favorite part is the versatility. In the same way that's no niche. I love having like a little bit of an experience and a little bit of say and like a little bit of, I don't know, I love bringing the vision to life. Like that full process, every step of it. I think that's really why I like directing when I went back for my master's and I focused on writing and directing. It's because I loved telling the story and then also executing that process. Like I love that. I feel like whenever I do photo shoots with magazines or like when I do product launches, I'm so thankful that my team vouches for me and is like, she's a creative, like, let her work, like, let her cook, because they like let me be a part of that process. I think there's a lot of times where you can walk into a room and be like, okay, dress me in whatever you want, put me in whatever you feel like, I'm down for anything, which I'm a very easygoing person. I do have like, I put a lot of trust in the people who I know what their job is, I know what their role is, and I know they're going to do it well. But I also love getting to have like a slight creative say. Like, I did a K18 commercial and they let me co-direct it. And like, that's so fun that I got to have like, here's what I would say in this scenario. Here's the playfulness that I want. Can I see that take? Like, I trusted the director who was actually behind the camera while I was in the scenes. But like, there's such like excitement in getting to bring to life these visions the same way that I was when I was a kid.
What made you want to go back for your master's?
I think knowledge and like wanting to be able to have real world experience and like wanting to be able to like have the education to know that when I walked into the room, I could walk in and speak to what I loved. Like, prior to that, the only knowledge, it's like the interesting thing where like you only know what you know. So when I was doing film and TV, when I was doing my engineering degree, what I was making on video was, I wasn't watching tutorials. I was using Adobe Premiere Pro in the way that I had taught myself. I didn't actually know like editing secrets and storytelling ways, and that when you put this color on screen and when you edit and color correct something to look this way, that's going to make the movie more scary, and that's going to make the movie more somber, and that's going to make the movie feel this way. And I mean, yes, it's giving you film norms, which I love, breaking outside of that box and like seeing the world in a different way, but you almost have to learn the history to know where we can go in the future and know how much better we're going to get from like where the foundation is. So yeah, I wanted to get my master's just so I could have that foundation, because I applied to jobs in film and TV with my engineering degree, and I got told no by every single, I applied to at least 100 jobs in film and TV, and every person was like, you just don't have the right experience, you don't have the right expertise, you don't have the right internship programs. Like, I don't really think high-speed drills used in brain surgery is really working on set right now, unless I'm working on Grey's Anatomy. So yeah, I had to like kind of switch it up for myself and give myself a new way to kind of enter that field and give myself at least a little sprinkle of experience before I could get my foot in the door. And then I ended up getting my foot in a totally different door than I thought I was going to.
How do you get into that door? Like, what was the first big push on TikTok?
I don't want it was my first big push, I would say. Like, when I started, what's funny is I literally just saw the video of the creator who did like, that's, look at how I go to work. Very demure. Okay.
Very mindful.
Very mindful. Okay. I just saw yeah, exactly. I just saw their video on TikTok this morning where they were like, I was working this job and I left the cashier and I was crying and I pulled out my phone and made the video. And that's why I'm telling you guys, make the video. Like, make the video and post it. You never know what's going to happen. I was at my cousin's basketball game. Okay. And I watched a mom walk in, and she was carrying her Louis Vuitton, and she had her shoes on, and she was carrying her little Range Rover keys, and all the kids were playing, and the world stopped when she walked in. She walked in and she sat down, and the coach came over and gave her a kiss, and I was like, that is the ideal life. Like, her husband is coaching this like cute little league basketball team. All the kids are bad. Sorry to the kids who are playing. Listen, this was like 5 years ago. I'm sure you're better now. Like, we were getting balls thrown everywhere. Nothing was like going well. But she walked in, she sat down, she had like her sunglasses on inside. We're like, also let me remind you, in Pennsylvania. We're not like in LA. She was living her dreams, okay? And I went home and I was like, you know what? If I'm not that mom, I like actually leaned over to my mom in the moment, was like, if I'm not that mom, I don't want it. And kind of made that joke. And I was like, that'd be a bomb TikTok. That'd actually be a really funny TikTok. So if I'm not the mom whose husband, or if my husband doesn't coach every single one of my kids' sports teams, while I'm the cute mom that shows up with drinks and waters in my Range Rover, I don't want it. And I posted on TikTok, and I had never had a video get 1 million views, and that one in the first 2 hours had 1 million views. And I was like, I'm famous. I did it. I did the thing.
I can't go outside anymore.
And no, I was like, I am not safe in Target for the foreseeable future.
So many photos.
But so I made that video, and everybody was like, wait, this is so funny. So then I was like, wait, there's so many ways that I could cater my life to being an I don't want it. And so pretty much I was like, my goal is to make one video every day. That's an I don't want it video, and then a mix of whatever else I usually make. A get ready video, and maybe a transition, and then an I don't want it video, and maybe a coffee video, and trending audio, and an I don't want it video. And so every day for like minimum 6 months probably, I did an I don't want it video every single day, and hashtagged Anna X don't want it. And I think that hashtag had like 100 or maybe 250 million views on TikTok, okay? And I had grown at that point. Just from I Don't Want It, I went from like 50K friends to 1 million friends. And then COVID hits during that time too. I'm back at home. I'm like all stressed out. I literally posted a video of me crying over the fact that I was leaving the mirror that started the I Don't Want It videos because I was moving out of the apartment because of COVID. And I was like, people aren't going to watch me anymore because they won't recognize my mirror. Like I was so convinced that I was like, that's what made me special, was like this bathroom made me special. But then I go home and COVID happened and we ended up like Starbucks ended up opening again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go get coffees on my way to work every day. And one day I did a cheesy video where I was like, everybody always asks me, I open my straws like this. And I did thing where you like grab the middle of the straw and you twist it and then it like rips the ring and then you can take the top off and blow the end of the straw. I did that and I was like, and it's because I'm a psychopath. And then I sipped my coffee. I shoved the straw into the coffee, sipped it and screamed. Video went viral and I was like, and then somebody commented, you should try this drink. And I was like, oh my God, wait, I should like film myself asking them for like these kind of crazy orders. So I go through the drive-thru again and I ordered, what's your favorite fall drink? And it was like pumpkin spice. I'd just come back. And they were like, oh, I'll make you a drink. Like just come to the window. And my very first Starbucks trying drink was an iced chai with pumpkin cream cold foam. I think this was pre like pumpkin cream cold foam being a regular thing. Like maybe it came on some drinks, but cold foam wasn't really getting mixed all that often. I tried the drink. It was phenomenal. The video got like 4 million likes. And I was like, guys, what do I do with this information? What do I do? I was like, what the heck? And so from there, I just kind of fell into like the next wave of videos. I was getting Starbucks every day on my way to work. And so I just kept getting Starbucks drinks.
Were you mixing other videos in along with that?
At that point, I was making 5 to 8 videos a day. So
you felt like you needed to?
I felt like I could. Empowering. Like I was like, why not? You know, like I have this time. I was at home. I can hear my stomach growling. If you hear this on camera, my stomach growling, literally, what the heck? I was like, honestly, the secret was like I would wake up and make a video, and then I'd go get my coffee. I would like wake up and make a trending audio. Then I'd go get my coffee and make a Starbucks video. Then I'd come home and go to a 2-hour class. Once class finished, I'd do a trending audio in the middle of the day, and I would get ready for the day and do my makeup. And then I'd have another class for 2 hours. And then I would go out to Target and I'd get a product, and then I'd come home and I'd try the product, and that was my like 7th or 8th video of the day. And I was like, fun. What else am I going to do? We're all trapped at home.
What did you grow your following to at that point?
With Starbucks?
Yeah.
What's crazy is in 2020, my like following went from 50K at the start of the year to 8 million by the end of the year. Like within the span of a single year. And I remember like I would hit these milestones. And of course you're like excited. I'd like run out and tell my mom. But there's also this element where I don't really remember it happening.
Because it's happening so fast?
It was just like, I wasn't really paying attention. Like, I was just loving what I was doing. Like, and the fact that, like, what's really interesting is it was like, don't get me wrong, so much validation that people liked watching my videos. But, like, I was just so inspired. Like, I wish that I could, like, channel back to that version of myself sometimes because she was just so obsessed. There was, like, nothing that she wouldn't film. There was nothing she wouldn't say. But the truth is, I literally just said this on my own podcast. You cannot be everybody's cup of tea. I will not be liked by everyone. I have to accept that that's the case. And it's okay. Like, it's the same way that people don't like certain flavors or certain foods or, like, people don't eat sushi. What? It's divine. Have you been to Sugarfish? Divine.
Well, I think you're doing a great job.
That's my opinion on that.
On a different note.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's pivot.
Well, do you think that if you pass your stuff onto an editor that you lose your identity of what you're posting?
Absolutely.
Why?
I just feel like for me, because my stuff, I don't even know the vision until I'm watching it later. You know, like when I'm making a video, I don't really know what it's going to look like until I'm done with it.
How meticulous are you with it that it has to be perfect? Like when do you figure out that a video is done?
When I don't get bored watching it. Like that's like like I did a 7-minute video yesterday on TikTok. I've never made a video that long in my life on TikTok, but it was a hair tutorial and I was like, I'm going to let it run.
Because it needed to be.
Because it needed to be. Like I was like, I'm going to let it run and I'm not going to do any cuts because I feel like I lose people when I cut. Like when I was cutting, people were like, wait, excuse me, how did you get from like your hair being here to your hair being tucked in now? Like what did you do? So I let it run full and through and through.
Do you speed it up?
No, because I know you can hold on TikTok for 2 times speed. So I was like, if people want to be faster, they'll make it faster. But I want to leave it slow for anybody else who want to like that pace. And I just feel like with that video, I sat down and I had a 10-minute video set up and I just clicked record and I didn't cut the whole video and then I cut it in post. Like afterwards, like just in the TikTok app, like snipped and clipped any like little weird awkward gaps. But yeah, I just feel like if I had a part of me would love to have an editor to alleviate the weight of how much I have so many videos that aren't only in my drafts, they're still in my camera roll. I have me going to see is it called the Familia Basilica? Is that the big church in Barcelona? I have a whole vlog of me going and seeing it for the first time in person.
On your phone?
On my phone. And I just never got around to editing it. And in Barcelona now feels so far away that I'm like, wait, is it stupid to post it now? Because it's been months since I've been there. But like, there's moments like that where I feel like that would have been nice to have an editor, but I just love the fine tuning of it. And like sometimes I feel like even in the moment, I'm also like on TikTok specifically, I film an app and I edit an app. I don't edit.
You don't bring it to a computer?
No.
Why?
It's faster. When I did listen to how crazy this is. When I did my 5 to 8 videos a day, it was pre-TikTok having an editing feature.
Yeah, you couldn't cut things down. I
filmed everything to perfect cut. I like would know that saying another day, another Starbies was 3.3 to 3.6 seconds. So I would set my phone up and I put 3.3 to 3.6. It's another day, another Starbies. And I'd have a little giggle at the end. And
would you add that giggle to beef it up in case it cut off early?
If it was too early, I would like look at the timer. If I was still going, I'd be like, what? Like just do something to fill the time. And then I'd be like, okay, the next thing I'm going to say is when I read the drink order, I would hold because I never knew how long it would take me to get through the full drink order. So I'd be like, okay, today's drink is, and my phone, my like hand, you can't see my hand in this camera, but like my hand would be sitting and I would be like, okay, today's drink is, and I'd hold it and read it off. But then I would set it, be like, I don't know, maybe 1.6 to 1.9 seconds would be like, guys, I'm dying today. That's how long it takes me to say that sentence. Okay. And then the next sentence would be like, I don't know, what did I do? I woke up this morning, I missed my alarm clock, so I did not go to my first class of the day. And so that would be like 3.4 to like 4.1 seconds. Like you can variate like how far you think that amount of time is for you to say that sentence. And then if you don't fit in that amount of time, you're like, okay, let's keep it the same, but let me say this sentence faster. If I had a break, like I missed my alarm today and I like literally missed my first class, that's a totally different sentence than.
I think I have to start getting into that.
It's kind of crazy, but the truth is the benefit is you never have to edit anything. You finish filming and you post.
What do you determine for what you want to put on YouTube versus TikTok?
YouTube is longer form, storytelling.
Yeah, but like you putting a 7-minute video on TikTok, isn't that storytelling?
Yes, but it was filmed vertical. I like my YouTube to feel more cinematic. I think that's like my big differentiation is like, I would love to be a YouTube girly.
But why is going to that church TikTok but not YouTube?
Going to that church.
The one that you have.
Yeah. Because like that's going to be a 1-minute video. I don't know what I make YouTube. I have a friend who said like you should just make your YouTubes a bunch of little TikToks like streamed together in one streamline. I don't know. I feel more entertaining in short form. And I worry that my YouTubes are boring.
I'm funnier in 1 minute.
I'm funnier when I'm like compact, you know?
You really got to 2x me.
When you can't escape me for 1 straight minute, I'm better. Otherwise, I take that 1 minute, I spread it out over 23, and then you're like, why am I watching this? That's my fear. Do you like YouTube better than TikTok?
It depends. I like commentary videos on YouTube better, but then I like scrolling through TikTok to like really let my mind go. But I love that 2x feature. I think my problem is I'm trying to figure out the balance of where to put things.
Yeah.
And I need to lean into trends more.
I want my YouTube to feel more like, I actually would love for it to feel like cinematic.
Would you get a new camera?
I have so many cameras.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you invest in lenses?
I own every camera brand.
Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Sony.
It's really bad, but it's because that is like my one true love. And listen,
I thought that was the coolest thing about you.
A worse addiction. Like, you know what I mean? I don't drink. I don't smoke anything.
No, great.
I don't I go out to the bar and my drinks are free. When I spend money, if I'm going to spend a lot of money, it's going to be on a camera or a flight. What more could you want in life? Like, those are my 2 things. If I'm going to spend money, like, if I'm going to treat myself, it's going to be to one of those 2 things.
Do you buy lenses?
Yeah. Yeah. And none of them work together. They all have to go to the one specific camera. So right now, I'm in my Sony Kick. I really want like the FX1 camera. Okay, I would love an FX1. But I know that I have a 7. I have an A7 and I have an A7C. And those two are like my two big ones that I'm like, that's what I use the most regularly. Those like my usual go-to ones.
You like the audio on it?
Yeah, I honestly don't even mic up my 7C. I film vlogs on my 7C and I don't mic that. I have a 7C too. No, on camera. Totally fine. I mean, I have like a little top one that I'll use sometimes, but I feel like actually like Final Cut Pro does pretty good voice like enhancing.
And you turn that effect on?
Yeah. And I run with it and that's it. I feel like I'm
like so fired up to go film stuff.
No,
I don't know
listen,
what,
are we going to go out and go make movies right now?
Listen,
well. I really need to make a new music video to That's So True. That's what I saw somebody comment today. Is that, like, you need to do Gracie Abrams' That's So True in a music video. And I'm like...
Is that the song that's going viral now?
Yeah, yeah, I feel like I mix up 17 of her songs into one mashup in my brain because I listen to all of them. But that's made it out alive, didn't get lost instead of from my coffin. Remember how I died? That's the song.
So when you hear a trend, do you immediately just do it right away? Don't even think about it? Like, I have to do this?
Depends on what it is. I don't really like TikTok's audios lately. Sometimes I feel like TikTok goes in waves where we have like 17 phenomenal audios to do trending audio stuff. And then like we go through a dry spell where it's like, gosh, I've used the Sabrina Carpenter song 100 times. So yeah, I feel like we go through dry spells. But like, it's going to be fun. I mean, I love Spotify. Like, I'm a ride or die listen to new music. Like, I always pick like whatever they want to make my day list, whatever they want to make my like discover new music stuff. I'm always listening to that because I'll use those in TikTok even if they're not trending.
What kind of profile do you have on TikTok? Are you a business or just a creator?
I think I'm a creator because I don't do TikTok shop or anything.
Right, but so then you can use copywritten songs on your page.
Yes, absolutely.
So then you are a creator.
Absolutely. I will not give. You can't pay me enough money to give up that feature. I love the regular music. So when you do brand deals, you have to use copyright free. But yeah, what about you?
I think I'm a business because
you don't use trending. Like, you can't use all the audios.
I can't use any songs. So like if I want to use Sabrina Carpenter song, I can't.
Oh, that's really sad.
But I'm like scared to turn it back.
Why?
I feel like my account's doing good now, so
Okay.
I might as well just leave it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not a good person to ask that. I feel like I would give up monetization on YouTube to be able to use all the music on it. Oh, I love a good song. I feel like the root of like what I love about TikTok was the fact that it was the music too. Like, that's what I think is one of my biggest inspirations for creativity. Like, I feel like I listen to a song and I hear, like, I'm a lyrics person. Are you a lyrics or a rhythm person when you
Lyrics.
listen? Okay, me too. It's so funny because Brew is a
Rhythm
person.
He needs the beat.
He needs the beat. And so it's so funny because I'll like tell him, like, listen how beautiful the song is. He's like, I mean, the song is good. And I was like, no, I'm like, what is she saying? It's what she's saying.
Like Gracie Abrams' bridge that she says in that song is beautiful.
Phenomenal. I feel like that, Pack It Up. What else have I been? Like, she had the other ones that went crazy. I love Risk. Oh my gosh. There's like one after another. I feel like she has like so many good songs where it's that and her and Noah Khan.
Noah Khan, yeah, when Stick Season came out,
yeah,
phenomenal.
I mean, that was my gateway drug. My second gateway drug, other than photography to videography, is Noah Khan to his music. Stick Season music. Honestly, what's really funny is my application to get into grad school. We had to make a short film.
So was mine.
What short film did you make?
I think I just submitted like whatever I had on YouTube with my friends because I would always make comedy sketches.
I didn't know that you went to school for film.
Yeah, in North Jersey.
Okay.
But it like didn't really like, do anything for me.
Really?
I was also the only one who was into the internet stuff. Everyone else was like, I want to make commercials and movies
yeah.
But I was the only one who did internet and no one else understood what it was. This is back in 2012.
That was like pre doing YouTube with anybody or like having that. Okay.
Before it was
so
like
cool.
a thing.
Yeah.
But
that's so cool though.
Yeah. So I think no one really understood it. So I was always like making kind of like less production videos while everyone was like renting out red cameras and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, let's go do it guerrilla style in the woods.
Stop. That's so wholesome. I feel like even now at my root, I'm still a cinema girly. Like I want to be on the big screen. I want to make like stories that people haven't seen before. I want to write. I want to direct. I want to act. I want to.
Do you like auditioning?
Just audition for this one.
Wicked.
Oh, if I Listen.
It was me and Ariana down to the wire.
Okay, she beat me out. She deserved it. No, I'm kidding.
I assume she did good.
So, I just saw that. I've never seen Wicked before. I just saw the movie at the premiere on Saturday, and I was
how was it?
Phenomenal. I'm gonna go back at least 15 times to see it in theaters. You have to see it in theaters.
Are you happy with where it ended? Because that was a big debate.
Yes. Yeah. And we only have to wait a year. It's not like we're waiting like some like
3
years.
Kind of, yeah.
Like it's not like, sorry, not to like shit on a movie, but like Avatar, where we have to wait 8 years for the second one. Okay.
Do you know that a lot of the scenes were practical? Like they really had those villages. They really planted those flowers.
I heard about that.
Do you want to see the TikTok?
Okay, yeah. Sure.
I sent it in my family group chat.
Okay, deal. Send it to me. That sounds phenomenal.
Because we're going to
Did you know that the Wicked movie uses practically zero CGI in any of the set design? Like, they planted over 9 million tulip seeds to create the Munchkin Village and built it completely from scratch. They built Shiz University from scratch. They built the Emerald City from scratch, even down to the train. They took a real 16-ton train and added all these exterior green pieces to make it match the Emerald City.
Isn't that crazy? That's what makes like movie watching
God, I love
so
movies.
Cool.
Are you kidding? Like, my engineering mind and my film mind just spazzed out. Like, literally just spazzed. Wow. I freaking love movies. That's what I mean. You're telling me that you don't love, like, I got to go on Warner Brothers set on their stages on Monday or Tuesday, and I swear every time I pull onto a film set, I get butterflies. I'm just like, I could throw up right now. I'm just so happy.
Did you see Gladiator 2?
No.
Going tonight.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay, let me know how it is. I can't wait. But yeah, I do. I love like a little movie moment. I don't even know where we were going with this. Oh,
what would your
about
dream
film
role
and
be?
TV
and auditioning.
Oh my gosh. I end up writing and reading a lot of drama. I love rom-coms though. And I think that naturally I play a better comedy actor than a drama actor.
You'd be great in a rom-com.
I just don't know if I take myself seriously enough to play a drama actor. But yeah, I love a rom-com. And also though, I'm just saying this now, and I hope this goes viral. You can post this clip. This clip must go on the internet. If we're making Akatar, I better get an audition for Feyre. I'm begging you. I am begging the internet gods, pass this along to whoever it needs to go to. Shit, I'll fund it. You know what? I'll help pay for Akatar to be turned into a movie. I want to see it in a movie so bad. I read all the books. I sped through them. I'm on Throne of Glass now. I'm also obsessed with that. I mean, if we really want to make that a movie.
Is it as smutty as they say?
Here's the thing. Let's talk about this. 1 through 4, no. I didn't think so. I'm not a super, truthfully, I'm like not a super smutty person. I kind of like, when I see a sex scene, I like flip the page. I'm not that interested in, I'm not that interested in it.
But does it get that graphic?
Okay.
Oh, it does.
Am I allowed to say naughty things, or is that like... Listen, we'll cut it if this is bad.
We'll bleep it all out.
Let's bleep it because that's going to be even funnier. Listen, exactly.
When he grabbed boop and specs boop.
In the fifth book, which actually I know a lot of people love the 5th book, so I'm being so cautious to say this. I like the 2nd book better because I'm pretty ride or die. I always say it wrong if it's Rhys or Rise, but I'm pretty ride or die for Rhysand and Feyre, which are the 2 main characters. You'll learn about it later. Read the books. Not even main characters. I guess he doesn't really become main character, but anyway. The 2nd book is crazy. I'm obsessed with the 2nd book. Sorry if that spoiled anything for anybody. Everyone loves the 5th book. If I had to read one more time about his against his leather pants, I was about to lose my marbles. I was sick of reading that he was like, there was just so much pressure in my pants, the way that she looked. I couldn't control myself under the table. And I'm like, listen, I don't care.
Are you reading this or is this audiobook?
I read.
Okay.
It's all visual, baby. I have to see those words with these eyes. They're ingrained in these eyes. And that's the thing. I don't mind a little like tension. Like I love a little like, ooh, will they, won't they? But if it's like the whole thing is like overly sexualized about just like how much they want to sleep with each other.
Right.
Life is so much more than that. I mean, I want to hear about how he like brushed the hair out of your face and kissed your forehead.
What did he make you for breakfast that morning?
No, exactly. That's my smut. Did he hold your hand when you were crossing the street? Did he stand on the car side of the road? That's my turn on. I get butterflies just thinking about those scenes. The one scene that I love is when I feel like I already said it. So if you haven't read the 1st book, shut me off right now. There's a moment in the first book that I still get butterflies and actually feel quite a bit of like envy that this person doesn't really exist. And it's that Reese, who comes in the story later, finds Feyre, the main girl, out in the woods, and people are like, these guys are heckling her, and he comes over and he's like, you don't know that he's like this all-powerful individual at the time, but he like walks over and everyone immediately leaves her alone, and he was just like, hey. Like kind of chill. But there's like this moment where they like meet Q, and it's like she like literally opens line with being like, he's the most beautiful person I've ever seen, and then he like protects her from like people who suck. Cool. Sign me up. So that's my kind of smut.
I'm sure they'll make a movie about that.
Listen, I just want the chance. Listen, make me a background fairy for fucking crying out loud.
Background fairy.
I swear, I will sweep the streets as a fairy if you need me to, just to be on that set.
Who do you have on your podcast tonight?
I have a small business on my podcast tonight. So we have two wonderful individuals who are going to come on and share about their small business and how they got started. So we're sharing tonight Anna's guide to starting a small business.
Have you been liking doing your pod?
Because
that was the last time I saw you when you came over here.
I was just starting. I do. I really love it. It's so fun to see the different medium. And I got to go to this event yesterday with Spotify, and I can see how it's venturing into video. And that's truly like my ride or die passion is like video and like the visual of it. So I'm really excited for what's to come and being able to like continue to grow in that space and be even more creative and share these like ins and outs of being a video portion of a podcast too.
It's so
I'm sure you're the same way where you love the video aspect.
I love it because you can cut it into so many different clips and mediums. Yeah. It's awesome. It's really impressive that you do it by yourself too.
Yeah. I
like
do.
a 40-minute conversation.
It's giving control freak.
It's giving chaos.
It's giving pure control. Someone else said that to me too. They're like, I can't believe you can talk for 40 minutes. And I'm like, have you seen me on this episode? Like, I could talk to a wall for 45 minutes about whatever topic you would like me to.
I remember doing one. I've done one. And I had bullet points, and I was so stressed out, and I would like take deep breaths and hyperventilate in between cuts.
I stress my producers out because I actually don't like bullet pointing. I just want to go in and like
ramble.
That's
insane.
Yeah. I have like overarching, like these are the three major topics that I want to touch on, but I don't really like thinking about them. I like thinking about them in the moment.
Do you have a time that cut off that you try and hit?
I try to do like minimum like 30 to 35 minutes because, 30 to 35 for like when I'm speaking. There's always like the intro that's about 10 minutes and then the closing, which is about like 5 to 10. So I like to like settle around like a nice like 35 to 45 minute episode. And
do you have any like pre-show rituals that you have to get in the mindset for it?
I feel like they always get mad at me. I always want to either snack or get a drink before I go.
Why?
I don't know. I just love having a drink in front of me. Like I love the energy of like walking in and sitting down and putting my coffee down. There's just something about that I'm like, now I'm ready.
It's like a sit down.
It is. It's like a little like, talk show or something. Wow. So yeah, those are my pre-rituals. Also remembering that I probably didn't charge a camera or something before somebody came over. That's usually a pre-show ritual too.
Like we got to get this going.
Like I was like, oh my God, everything's going to die. So yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Wow. Okay. So thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Anna's podcast can be linked down below. Go subscribe.
Anna's guide.
Link down below.
I'm so happy that you're here.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
My way.
This looks like a little heart.
Yeah. Oh, I saw. Do you watch Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
Do you see the Ezra did a heart like this, and then I think Brit did it like this, and they were like, "Oh, a millennial and a Gen Z coming together."
Stop! Wait, that's so cute. Literally like this.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'll see you later.
See you guys. Take care. Yeah.
Bye.
Lightweights. Oh, that was so great.
That's so fun.